Hello everybody and welcome back to my F1 22 My Team Career Mode. We are now at the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. If you haven't seen the last episode from Spa, I urge you to go back and check that one out before you check this one out. I promise you it's a good one. So in dramatic fashion, Hamilton took out half the field in Spa, but we were already ahead of that anyway, and we took a commanding qualifying of P5 and translated it into P5. But there was a lot more happening in that race than that. But we've got points, we've had a big result. It's now on to the next one here, and I'll be honest, I find this circuit really challenging. It's not one of my favourites, but I am going to give it my best and see where we can end up. So first off, obviously, is Q1. Lando Norris sets the bar at a 1:13. I'm hoping to get a late 12, or maybe even a late 12 or early 13 I would settle for. And yes, it's an early 13, but I think we may need to go quicker than that. We may need to go quicker, and we've gained 3 tenths on our previous best. And we now swing round the banked corner. One of my favourite corners in the game though, even if I'm not a huge fan of the circuit, I'm a fan of that corner. And once again, we have made it into Q2. I could get used to these Q2 appearances, but after that we didn't get much further, and in the end we have to settle for P16 on the grid. But it's a long race, 36 laps ahead, what can happen?
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit, 25 miles away from Amsterdam, for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Valtteri Bottas, and Fernando Alonso. Ricciardo, Vettel, Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty, and Pierre Gasly. Russell, Mick Schumacher, Max Verstappen, Joker, Stroll, Albon, Esteban Ocon. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Guan Yu Zhou. Liam Lawson. They've taken a grid penalty. Latifi, Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Natalie Pinkham. Now, our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get a clean start. And this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space. And finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out?
So begins another formation lap. Leclerc once again sticking it on pole. Are we surprised at this point? Sainz second. It's Lando Norris though that's planted his McLaren in third, and Sergio Perez who is in fourth. And a lot of drivers are gambling on taking the soft tyres and are going for a short stint before taking on the hard. So that's interesting to see what they're doing there. We've decided, however, to stick with the mediums and stick with what everyone else is doing and try and gain positions using pace. I'm not sure what our pace is going to be around here, but we're going to give it a good shot. We're going to give it a go as we line up into our position, and we're actually alongside Max Verstappen, who's got some kind of grid penalty, but as a result, I'm not complaining. I think we've gained a couple of places as well due to penalties. Yes, we have. We're up to 14th on the grid. Right, it's lights out and away we go here. It's a relatively decent start for us and a very short run to the first corner. Verstappen's got away very well, but he's then got boxed in behind this rows of traffic. Stroll's trying to have a look at me here. Stroll side by side. In fact, Stroll gets such a better exit out of one, and he's got past, but I'm now going to try and go around the high side here, try and get back past Stroll. We have got back past Stroll. No, we haven't, because I've failed the momentum out of the corner, and Stroll just got me straight away. Don't know what's in that Aston Martin, but that enabled him to get away from me quickly. Albon having a look up my inside there. That's not happening. A couple of corners later, we're taking that place straight back on Stroll, and Albon follows me through. So Albon taking the opportunity there of getting past me. Getting past getting past Stroll. Can't talk today. And Albon's now having a look up my inside, and it's not happening there. So Albon having to back out of that one. I covered that one around the outside. Now we're right in the gearbox of Max Verstappen. We're going to take a dive up the inside here, and Max just dives out of the way. And we have officially frightened Max Verstappen out the way. That's a proud moment, especially at his home race. And thankfully, none of that irritating orange smoke obstructing my view. Nothing against Verstappen fans, nothing against the Dutch fans, but if I was in the crowd and all I could see was a plume of orange smoke, I would be annoyed. Right, back to the race. And we are tucked up behind Russell, who's tucked up behind Schumacher, who is tucked up behind Gasly, who's tucked up behind someone else, couldn't see who it is. And Verstappen is right behind me now. Verstappen's gone wide, and he's been collected by an Alpine, and that is Max Verstappen out of his home race. Verstappen out of the race, and once again we have this safety car glitch. Now I should establish that this was recorded before the first performance patch came in, and I think since that patch has come in, it has fixed this issue, but this was extremely irritating to experience this once again. The race is underway again, and we're now getting ready to try and have a look at George Russell, but there's just no way through. This circuit is extremely difficult to overtake on, and you've really got to pick your moment. We're going to have a look around the outside of George Russell here, though. Have we got it done? No, we haven't, because the momentum on that Mercedes just enables him to have better torque out the corner. And Russell just absolutely doing me there. We've gone round the outside, but Russell getting on the power early and getting back ahead of us, because obviously the torque and the straight line speed we've got is, well, not very good. Anyway, now we've got Russell having a look at Schumacher dead ahead of us. Side by side out of the first corner. Is there anything to gain here? Answer: I don't know. They're still side by side. Can we gain? No. Mick's tucked in behind Russell without too much fuss there. And George Russell making up a place on Mick Schumacher. And that's quite a good overtake by Russell. Although it's annoying that we couldn't make any gains on that. And Ocon is joining this battle now. And now Russell and Gasly are going wheel to wheel. Russell getting himself ahead of Pierre Gasly. Is there a way through here? They're starting to bunch together a bit. And we've got a DRS zone coming up. And I'm going to try and stay with these guys. Ocon having a cheeky look up the inside there, but I shut that down very quick. But the problem is now, I just do not have enough overtake to carry the straight line speed. Everybody's got DRS. Schumacher's having a look at Gasly. Gasly closes the door. And we're back here again. P13 behind Mick Schumacher, behind Pierre Gasly. And this DRS train just getting a little bit frustrating now, as we're trying to find a way through. And I'm doing a mid-session save here because back then we had the issue of game crashing again. I think the patch has fixed this, but we've lost a little bit of time to Schumacher here, so I'm pushing hard to try and get it back. Pushing too hard! We've hit the curb and into the wall we go, and that is a front wing gone. You see, I just touched the curb lightly there, and that has just put me round. I am going to recover, but with no front wing, we are going to limp back to the pits. And the safety car is back out, but once again, The most annoying thing is that there's nothing I can do, and I feel like with my pitting, there might have been gains to be made there with the rest of the AI pitting, but it is what it is. We're now fighting Tsunoda on the straight. We're going to go round the outside of turn 1, and that is the move done. And you know what? Going wheel to wheel round the outside of the bank corner. Call it bravery, call it stupidity, because I'm already down a wing in this race, but I haven't seen anyone do that before. And round the outside of turn 1 we sweep. Thank you very much, Yuki. I will just relieve you of that position. Next up is Nicholas Latifi in P19. And this is a bit of a recovery drive now. Latifi shouldn't be too difficult to pass. He does go kind of defensive, but we've now got the inside line. And I'm going to brake later, and Latifi, well, there wasn't really any fighting. That was there. I've gone through up into P19. And Latifi is trying to fight back, actually. I've gone round the outside. Then taking the inside. Latifi turning in on me. That's a little bit rude, Nicholas. But we have gained P19. And now the rest of the field are starting to pit, including our teammate. And if Lawson turns out to be faster than me, I'm not holding him up. But he isn't quicker than me, as it turns out. So we are able to pull away from him. A few laps later, here's Lawson fighting off Magnussen for us. Is he going to be able to hold him back? No, Magnussen just going straight around the outside and completing a great overtake on our teammate. So, a bit of a painful day for our team so far. And speaking of painful, that's Yuki Tsunoda pulling off. He is out of the race. Alex Albon has now got an issue ahead of us as we progress deeper into the latter stages of the race. And I was hoping he could hold up Zhou Guanyu a bit for us, and there'd be 2 places to gain. But Zhou Guanyu got past quite quickly, and we have caught Alex Albon. And we have 8 laps to get past him. I don't think this is going to be too difficult because Albon is limping. Unfortunately, I don't think we quite have the momentum yet to get him on this short straight. So we're going to have to nail him in one of the trickier corners. And I've picked my moment to do it. And we're going to go up the inside here, and Albon just doesn't fight that one at all. He does not fight that at all. You see there, we've got better momentum. And Albon is just limping around the corners with his car issue. We go up the inside, and that is P16. And Albon is actually going to help us out here because he can keep Magnussen behind him. Meanwhile, Stroll is going for a little spin here. Nice little 360 pirouette. And he will live to fight another day. Nothing in doing in that. And we have gained on him towards the end of the race. And I was pushing hard to try and gain that a little bit more. Unfortunately, there was just not enough laps to do it. So Stroll is going to finish ahead of us. And my tyres were starting to go off, having been on them since lap 13. We hit the curb and nearly lose it again. But it's going to be a P16 finish for us. It's disappointing. It's disappointing, especially with the mistake. I'm so sorry, guys.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team strategies. They got all those things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. And now let's take a look at the driver of the day, Natalie Pinkham. Come
Well,
on.
unexpectedly, Sergio Perez taking that win there. Carlos Sainz also finishing ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. So a great finish for Sainz in second. Leclerc still bagging some valuable points in third and still gaining on his championship rivals, as neither Verstappen didn't finish and Russell didn't finish very high in the points. So still some crucial points gained there for Leclerc, and we were P16. And I feel like without that mistake, we could have been around... I think we had the pace to be fighting just outside the points, you know. I think without that mistake, we'd have probably been P11, maybe P12 ahead of Sebastian Vettel. But, you know, you can ponder what ifs. It happened. We made a mistake. We're just going to move on to the next one. Kick myself and move on to the next one, as the famous quote from Juan Montoya goes. But still. So as you can see in the championship, Leclerc's gap is now 103 points. This title is going to be wrapped up pretty soon. You can bet on that. Russell in second, Verstappen in third on 175 points. Then it's Sainz in fourth. Perez moving up to fifth with that win. And then it's Hamilton and Norris. And we've got Magnussen rounding out the top 10. Alonso in 8th and Bottas in 9th. And in the Constructors, we're still in 8th. Well, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you're new and you want to see more content from me. And until the next time, I've been Joe. Join me for more career mode when we go to Italy. Until the next time, TTFN guys, ta-ta for now.